You know what's scary? Some people don't break your confidence in one big moment. They slowly whisper doubt into your mind until one day, you don't even trust yourself anymore. It usually starts small. You share an idea, and they pause, just for a second too long. Then they say something like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Not harsh, not aggressive, just enough to make you hesitate. At first you brush it off, but then it keeps happening. You pick an outfit, they raise an eyebrow. You make a decision, they question it. You feel excited about something, they subtly bring up what could go wrong. And slowly, something shifts. You stop feeling certain. You start second-guessing even the simplest choices. Here's the part most people don't realize. This behavior isn't always loud or obvious. In fact, the people who make you doubt yourself the most often seem calm, logical, even helpful. But psychologically, something deeper is happening. Some people feel uncomfortable around confidence they don't have. Your certainty reminds them of their own uncertainty. Your clarity exposes their confusion. So instead of building themselves up, they unconsciously start pulling you down. Not in a dramatic way, but in small, repeated moments that slowly chip away at how you see yourself. And the most dangerous part? It doesn't feel like attack. It feels like advice. Because doubt, when planted gently, doesn't trigger defense. It slips in quietly and stays. There's also another layer to this. Some people gain a sense of control by making others uncertain. When you start questioning yourself, you naturally start looking outward for reassurance. And guess who you turn to? Them. Now they're not just part of your life. They become your reference point. Your decisions start revolving around their opinions. Your confidence becomes dependent on their reactions. And without realizing it, you slowly give away your inner authority. Now imagine a simple scenario. Someone is working on something they genuinely care about. They're not perfect, but they're trying, learning, growing. They share their progress with someone close to them. Instead of encouragement, they hear, "I mean, it's okay, but people probably expect more." No yelling, no insult, just a subtle shift. That one sentence doesn't destroy them, but it plants a seed. Next time they try, they hesitate. Next time they share, they hold back. Next time they think, they doubt. And over time, they don't need that person anymore to feel uncertain. Their own mind continues the pattern. That's how powerful repeated doubt can be. It's not about one moment, it's about accumulation. Because the human mind doesn't just remember what's said, it starts believing what's repeated. And when doubt is repeated often enough, it starts to sound like your own voice. Here's the hidden truth most people miss. The person making you doubt yourself often doesn't fully realize what they're doing. But the effect is still real. Because psychologically, this isn't always about you. It's about how they feel inside. People who are deeply secure don't feel the need to question everything you do. They don't feel threatened by your growth. They don't subtly reduce your excitement. But people who feel unsure often project that uncertainty outward. They see your confidence, and it creates tension inside them. So they try to balance it by introducing doubt. Not necessarily to hurt you, but to feel more comfortable themselves. And this creates a strange contrast. On the surface, they may seem supportive. They might say, "I'm just being honest," or "I'm trying to help you improve." But underneath that, there's a pattern, a consistent lowering of your certainty, a quiet reshaping of how you see yourself. Now imagine another situation. Someone starts making progress in life. Nothing extreme, just small wins. More confidence, more clarity. The people around them notice. At first, everything seems normal. But then small comments begin. "Don't get too ahead of yourself. You're changing. What if this doesn't work out?" Again, nothing aggressive, but the tone carries something else. And over time, the person starts shrinking. Just a little. Holding back. Just a little. Doubting. Just a little. Until one day, they're no longer moving forward with the same energy. This is where awareness quietly becomes important. Because not every voice in your life deserves equal weight. Some voices come from clarity. Others come from fear. And if you don't recognize the difference, you can mistake someone else's fear for your own intuition. That's when doubt becomes dangerous. Not because doubt itself is bad, but because borrowed doubt feels real, even when it doesn't belong to you. So the shift isn't about shutting people out. It's about noticing patterns. How do you feel after certain conversations? More clear, or more confused, more grounded, or more uncertain? Because your mind is always responding, even when you're not paying attention. And sometimes, the biggest change isn't in what people say to you. It's in how much of it you quietly accept. At the end of the day, Confidence isn't just built by believing in yourself. It's also protected by being careful about what you let shape your thinking. Because the truth is, not everyone who questions you is trying to guide you. Some are simply reflecting their own doubts and handing them to you. So the real question is, are you listening to your own voice or just repeating the doubts someone else planted in your mind?